I had a lot of wires that I had to trench in the ground, so I got this Arbortech Allsaw to help me do just exactly that. We've been running a lot of landscape wire lately, and we have like 600 feet, and we mostly hand trenched this wire. This is a 10 gauge Inlight high quality wire, but I just thought there's certain spots on this job where digging a trench, it's time consuming, it's invasive to the yard. And I was looking for different ways to do that. There's some other mechanical trenchers on the market, but this company, Arbortech, they sent me one to try out. And what it is, it's a dual reciprocating Allsaw. So it comes with lots of different types of blades. So the blades, they work back and forth. So they're oscillating back and forth from one another. There's 2 ports where you put the blades in, and they have multiple different types of blades that you can use. Now, this tool was not designed to trench into lawns or as far as like for landscape wire. This saw was designed for cutting out brick. There's all kinds of different blades for this saw. And the kit that I got, now Arbortech sent me this kit to try. It came with the tool, it came with a charger, 1 battery, a nice 9 amp hour DeWalt battery, and then they sent me some additional blades. They're actually carbide tipped blades that I've been using to do some trenching, just for the wire. Here's a smaller set of carbide blades for the tool, and then they also have these. These look like, this is basically like an oscillator on steroids, okay? And then these are for plunging into brick mortar and cutting out individual bricks and pulling those out. They come in these nice carrying bags too. They also designed some turf blades, and that's when I saw these on the internet and I knew what I had to do as far as trenching a bunch of wire goes. I was like, ooh, that's awesome. I haven't even used these yet. These are for sod. Now, if it's a lot of rock and a lot of roots, these may not be the answer. That's why I've been using these carbide tipped ones on this saw, because these worked really well. And yeah, it's probably gonna dull the carbide. You're gonna hit rocks, you know, but how else are you gonna trench landscape wire into the ground? This will go down 6 inches, and then I can stuff the wire into the trench. It's 2 blades wide plus a little bit of a gap, so it gives me enough room to get the wire in the ground. And that's what this is all about. So I have this one spot here where we want to take a trench where we've already trenched wire, and I just want to tie some more wire into that because I want to add a light down into here for pathway for view, so you can see better at night where you're going, right? So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm not gonna put on the dust cover. Maybe if you're doing mortar, I could see by putting this thing on and it kind of collects the dust. And you can hook it up. There's a port here for your shop vac. So you can hook it up to that for dust extraction, that kind of thing. That's great. As far as taking the tool apart, we'll take off the battery. Like if you wanna change blades, you just pull on this lever right here, and then you take off each blade. Like so, and they come right off, okay? And then I can switch out. So what we'll probably do, we'll cut our trench and get our wire installed with these because I know these work. Then we'll check out these sod blades and see if they cut any different or any better, okay? So now the blades are locked in. There is a safety trigger mechanism right here that you have to depress to pull the trigger in to get the tool to start, okay? We'll get the battery back on here. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a little trench from where the wire is. I'm gonna cut a little short, okay, because I don't want to cut the wire that we just installed. I'm just trying to make an additional trench, maybe 3 or 4 feet long, that I can bury some more wire in the ground. Okay, so here we go. This ground has a lot of rocks in it, but I'm probably down about 4 inches, I'd say. So I could probably go a little bit deeper, but let me clear some of these rocks. And this is a minimal trench, so it's not gonna be hard for the ground to recuperate, the grass to recuperate from. You know, if you're into hard rocky soil, that's just gonna be the deal. It's gonna take a little bit longer to get down into the ground you want. Another cool thing is this handle is adjustable, so you can move it into multiple positions depending on what you're trying to cut and how. But let's keep going. This was really hard ground, so to give this thing a fair shake, I think that it did a fairly good job. And it's only an inch wide trench versus something that's gonna be much wider. And then what I did was I just had this tool, this handy tool that I got on Amazon. It's got a little fork divider in it. I don't remember what it's called. I just did some searching on the internet, and I just am using that to push the wire into the ground. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and bury this just so it doesn't pop back up. Man, I can't believe how many rocks are in this soil. So I'll take this side and I'll hook it up to our existing line, which is right here. I might have to pull a little bit more wire this way, and then we can splice in there, so on and so forth. So I can just keep taking this trenching tool, and I just wanna make sure that I get the wire down in the ground enough so that there's not an issue with the lawnmowers, the lawn guys, or anybody else that's coming in. You know, you wanna get a good 4 to 6 inches down in the ground when you're burying your landscape wire, or else you could have problems, somebody raking or getting, you know, a shovel in here, it could pierce the wire. So the goal is to get it deep enough to where it fits. But I tell you what, let's grab these and let's put these on here. Now these are not carbide tips, so these, with all these rocks, I'm a little concerned that these may not do as good, or they just might make a mess, but let's just put them on and see what happens. Like I said before, guys, I'm a little nervous because I know how rocky this ground is. You know, it'd probably be easier if we went to a different part of the yard that is maybe a little more watered or doesn't have so much gravel in it. But because we started our trench here, we got to put a line here anyways. I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. I can always order some more blades if we ruin these, okay? So let's go with that. Here we go. It's gonna take, in rocky soil, it's gonna take longer to make this trench. But what I noticed is these blades actually probably worked a little bit better than these blades did, which surprises me. But hey man, whatever gets the job done quicker is what I'm all in about. I can see that there's more dirt in this second part of this trench, and it's a little bit deeper. And put the rocks back in the hole, huh? So you would just continue on. Yeah, that's acceptable right there. I think I would go with these. Maybe just get an extra set just in case you needed those if you're doing hundreds and hundreds of feet. But we're gonna be using this tool out on another property soon, so we will keep notes and keep you guys posted on how we do with it. All right guys, so that's my first impressions about this Arbortech tool. I definitely think it's gonna work. It's just a matter of getting it there and getting it to the locations we need it to do and trenching it out. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.